Hi, I'm just going to dive right in here. I'm reading some questions and I'm going to answer them. First off, okay, that's how it starts. This is my letter. I printed it out. So, here we go. Hello, Horror Abyss. First off, I want to thank you for being a part of this. You're welcome. We are honored to have you and are grateful for your time. No problem. So, I just wanted to give you a big thank you from myself and my mods from the Horror Abyss. Also, you're free to answer all questions or just the questions you choose. I'm not answering all of the questions. If at any time you have any questions for me, then don't hesitate to contact me. Thank you. And a smiley face. Thanks. I like smiles. So, anyway, from Conan. Is it Conan? Conan or Conan? You're either Irish or you're German. Conan. Let's see. Okay. I personally would like to know how did you prepare for the role, Paul, and was it intimidating to portray an icon? First thing I did was I hate it that I can't even see a camera right here. First thing I did was I rewatched all of the Hellraiser films. That lasted for a few weeks, and then Gary and I agreed that it was probably better to go away from that and just create my own thing. And so after that, I started just watching other films. It wasn't all about watching films. I just sort of took it inside, and I spent a lot of time alone. I spent a lot of time alone in the dark in my scary house, in my scary neighborhood, and took crazy walks at night, smoking cigarettes and being moody. And I was actually just dealing with fear, so I was trying to get over that, and so I could be intimidating myself. And I may have gone a little deeper than I needed to, but it felt good, so that's what I did. Watched a few films like Schindler's List for Ray Fiennes' performance, and Anthony Hopkins in Silence with the Lambs, and a bunch of other stuff too. I don't remember all of it. It was 2 years ago. And I just would sit on my porch, my front porch with the lights out, smoking and saying the lines over and over again. And as I said, spending a lot of time in the dark. So, was it intimidating to portray an icon? Not really. It wasn't intimidating. It was daunting because I'd been warned, that it was going to be, that I was going to have some backlash or whatever from hardcore, Pinhead is the only Hellraiser fans, and that's fine. But not intimidating because I just had to do my job. So, no, I was not intimidated. I was honored, and I was challenged. Look, this is me in the dark. This is from James. I would like to know... Sorry, this is so amateur of me. I would like to know, seeing I love makeup effects so much, what was it like working with FX artist Gary J. Tunnicliffe? Oh, it was, it was amazing. That's an overused word. It was great. He's terrific. He's funny and he's talented and he's the best. And so it was fantastic. It was golden. My makeups were amazing and it was great. And what did it feel like when you were looking and saw yourself for the first time as Pinhead, being a fan of the series yourself? Well, that was surreal. It was just, I just got into it immediately. I just dove right in, and it was fantastic because I love being a monster, and to be a monster that to have that face put onto me by Hollywood professionals, lit by professionals, knowing I looked incredible. It was the best thing that could have ever happened to me as far as happiness from how I looked. Okay, that was a silly answer, but this is just off the cuff. I haven't prepared any answers, so. Also, how long did the transformation take? It took 2 hours. Okay. Wow, I just went out of focus completely. I don't know what happened there. I look better, though. I look younger. Oh, okay. So, yeah. We're already up to 5 minutes. Oh, my God. So, yeah. How long did it take? It took 2 hours from start to finish of makeup. And then we had to get in a costume. So, there we go. From Kayla or Kala, I don't know. Have you always been a horror fan? Yes. I've always been a horror fan. Ever since I was a kid. It started just Halloween. I didn't really get to watch a lot of horror movies, but when I started being allowed to watch horror movies, yes. I believe it was Trilogy of Terror, Karen Black. It's the first horror film I ever watched. And it was terrifying. It's called Trilogy of Terror for a reason. Zuni fetish doll. It was great. Oh my God, I was terrified. If so, what are some of your favorite horror movies? Trilogy of Terror. The Shining. The Exorcist is the best. It's just, The Exorcist is truly scary. It's hard of the words terrifying and scary. The Omen, Burnt Offerings. I mean, this is stuff from the 70s and 80s. Sorry. Some of it's from the 90s. The Shining, of course. I just love Jack Nicholson so much in that. Wow. Those are really my favorites. I know it's not very original, but it is what it is. I also love comedy horror. I mean, I love Shaun of the Dead. I love, I forgot the name right now. Evil, versus Evil. I can't remember the title. I hate myself. Alan Tudyk is in it. You know what I mean? Nope, it's not going to come. But you know what I mean? That comedy movie, Alan Tudyk, the hillbillies, the wood chipper. The wood chipper! He dove head first into the wood chipper! Anyway, great. Great stuff. Great. I want to do a comedy horror film. I do. From Kala, how did you feel about taking on the iconic role, and how do you deal with the negative criticism from fans who have difficulty even giving you and the film a chance? I personally feel like they're missing out big time. Well, I do too. So, okay. To those fans, I say, give the movie a chance. I'm an actor who auditioned for a role and I got it because Doug Bradley wasn't going to do it, period. And then I did the movie. I'm actually getting some pretty good response. You might want to check it out. But no, I'm not Doug Bradley, right? He's no Doug Bradley. Well, exactly. Because it's impossible for me to be a Doug Bradley. So there you go. I think it's a good movie and I hope you'll see it. And I have to have a sense of humor about those fans, though, because I can't get into all that negative energy coming at me. It's like, I don't, deflect. So it's fine. I expected it. Gary warned me the very first conversation we had in person. He's like, you're going to have people who hate you because you're not Doug Bradley. I'm like, okay. I'm a big boy. I'm an adult. I've been doing this for 30 years. I can do it. It's an opportunity, and it's the best opportunity I've ever had. And so, great. Bring it on. I don't care. Okay. From Cole, what was your favorite part of being a part of Hellraiser Judgment? My favorite part. I don't think I saw that question before, or I would have maybe even thought about it. My favorite part of being a part of Hellraiser Judgment. Just being associated with the franchise. I mean, the puzzle box. Come on. I got to work a puzzle box in a movie as Pinhead. That was my favorite part. I was Pinhead in a movie of Hellraiser. Not a good answer, but that's my answer. From Kala, I heard you brought your Pinhead action figure and your own puzzle box to the audition. I did. Was Pinhead always one of your personal favorites of the classic horror villains? Yes, he was. Not one of my personal favorites. He was and is my personal favorite. If so, what makes him your favorite? What drew you to him specifically? Well, he speaks eloquently and with a British accent, and I love a British accent. And he's sexy, and he represents lust and desire, and he's just so much sexier than any of the other ones. Except maybe Dracula. I don't know. Dracula's sexy too. I'd love to play Dracula too. I like sexy and tough, That's it. I like sexy and tough. He comes from a world of S&M. I mean, come on. Nobody else has ever done that. And thank you, Clive Barker, for sharing your twisted mind with us. I mean, it's amazing. And that's why I'm drawn to Pinhead. And that costume is sexy as hell. And that makeup is, come on. Ouch. I think I'm so funny. You probably are just going, oh my God, turn this guy off. Hellraiser Judgment has been in production since 2016 and at one point even shelved. How do you feel knowing this film is finally arriving? Yay! That's my answer. For Matthew, are you pleased that you got your own distinct look for Pinhead? Yes! Because, yeah, this is a different Pinhead. It's a different actor, different Pinhead. You know, I would have loved to have had a big budget costume that was like Doug Bradley's. Sure, that would have been cool too. But just the fact that Gary wanted to change it up, I think was amazing. He's like, I'm going to give you your own Pinhead look. I'm like, okay, good. That's great. I love it. And I like the fact that my nails are silver instead of gold. There's all kinds of things. And the gash is awesome. It's not bacon and it's not pizza, okay? It's my rib cage. So stop it right now. Okay. I sound like a bitch. Rather than just putting on Doug's costume. Okay. Chest piece is great. Oh, you're saying exactly what I just said. Wish it was a bit of a bigger gash, but it looks great. Well, then my nipples would be exposed, which would actually be kind of awesome. But anyway. For Matthew, are you pleased that you got your own... For Matthew, when Kane Hodder took over the role of Jason, he pretty much became a fan favorite right away and went on to play him 4 times. Do you see yourself playing Pinhead that many times or more in the future given the chance? Given the chance, yes. I mean, Pinhead in Hellraiser Judgment, the 10th film in the franchise, is the coolest thing, hands down, that's ever happened to me. So... And being in that costume and makeup and being on the set doing those lines, oh my God, yeah. As many times as they want me to. I mean, I want to read the script. If it gets to a place where I'm in demand for Pinhead, then, you know, maybe I'll be able to go, can I read the script first? But I'll probably just say, yes, of course. I'm not that young. Let me make some more of these. Anyway. For Matthew, what direction would you personally like to see a sequel go? Oh, well, you know what? I've had a lot of thought about that ever since I read the final script and was like, that's what happens to Pinhead? I would like for... spoilers, though. You're asking me for spoilers here. Spoiler alert! So, maybe everybody's already seen it. Who's watching this? I doubt it, but... I think a sequel could start with a homeless man, working his way back to where he used to be. We could just leave it at that. I mean, that would be a good plot. I mean, a good movie with me having lots of screen time. But, you know, I am of the opinion that you kind of need Pinhead for Hellraiser just because that's the way it's been for such a long time. But there's also the school of thought that it doesn't have to be a male Pinhead, which is an idea, you know. Or there doesn't have to be Pinhead at all. That's an idea, too, that some people like. And I'm like, I don't like that idea. But, so, yeah. Or maybe the auditor needs Pinhead's assistance. So he campaigns to bring that guy back to be Pinhead again. To be the Hell Priest again, okay? We don't call him Pinhead. We call him Hell Priest. Have you read the Scarlet Gospels? Call him Pinhead and he kills you. So call him the Hell Priest, because that's what he is. Stupid crew, giving him a nickname. Anyway. As I've told you before, I'm hoping that Judgment is the first of a continuing Hellraiser story. Me too. And they make a trilogy out of it. Me too. Is that something you and Gary would be down for or have talked about? We haven't... I mean, I asked him about it finally, I asked him about it after 2 years. I'm like, oh, the movie's coming out now. A question I've had since I first read the script 2 years ago. When when this happens to Pinhead, did you just think, okay, Pinhead's gone and we've killed him off? Is this what we're doing here? Or might he come back? And Gary said, oh, I've never really thought about that. I was just writing a script. Okay. I mean, I don't know. So that's what he said. But so that's pretty much as far as we've discussed it, except then I said, you could bring him back as a homeless person and he could work his way back up the chain and ladder and find a puzzle box and start tearing souls apart again. Because as you can tell, if you're watching and listening to this, I'm terribly terrifying in real life. Okay. So what's the next question? From Conan, did you get to keep anything from the set, such as the costume or the lament configuration? I may have been told that I was going to get to keep something, but then it turned out I didn't get to. Anyway, I'm not bitter. I'm really not. I don't care. I didn't even take one of the pins. I didn't even take a nail. I could have just reached right out while no one was around and taken a nail or a handful of nails. Well, they would have noticed that, but I didn't because I'm a good guy. So I'm going to read, that's the end of the questions. So I'm going to read this thing from Kayla. I'm sorry, I should have asked you before. From the Horror Abyss. It says, again, I thank you for your time and your performance as Pinhead was truly amazing. We have given such positive feedback in our group and community about Hellraiser Judgment from everyone who has seen it, and some have said this is the best Hellraiser in years and that they loved your portrayal of Pinhead. Guys, yeah, thanks. I truly hope we see more of you in the horror world, and most of all, I hope we have the pleasure of seeing you again as Pinhead. Thank you. I hope the same thing. I do. Many thanks, Kayla, from the Horror Abyss. I want to thank you guys from the Horror Abyss for wanting me to do this. It was great fun. I didn't know it would be, but, here I am just talking about myself, which is always fun for me. Not always, but right now it is. Got my whiskey. Oh, anytime you want to buy me a drink, P.S., it's Irish whiskey. Single malt is what I prefer. So just letting you know out there. And thank you guys. So peace, keep it weird, and stay curious.